हरिः ओम कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलं वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कविता वनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति पराङ्गतिम् नमामि तं वरदाग्रजं पदाम्बुजं यस्य पवित्रकीर्तेः मनांसि वा शीलयति श्रुतीनां वचांसि वा मत्कुलसम्भवानां नमस्सभायै. It is the 17th day on the ongoing lecture series on Ramayana. रामायण प्रवचन का आज तो 17th दिन है और we are coming to the conclusion of Balakanda or Yajna Kanda. So why is this important? गुजराती में गिरिधरदास बोलते हैं, श्रोता जन सुनो भाव धरी ने पावन राम कथाया जी नित नित आनंद मिथिला पुरी मां मंगल उत्सव ताय जी. श्री राम लगन जोई मग्न थया मुनि देता आशीर्वाद क्षण क्षण मान थाय पुष्पवृष्टि करे देव दुंदुबिनाद जी. ही ऑर्डर्स बेसिकली, ए मनुष्य, ए भक्तजनों, ए श्रोता जन सुन. कैसा सुनना चाहिए? धीर धारण शक्ति से, धरीने से. यू हैव टू absorb the guna of Lord Rama, and particularly you have to imbibe the artha, imbibe the guna, imbibe the poetic sense of Rama Katha. ये तो गुजराती में गिरिधरदास गाता है. श्रोता जन सुनो भाव धरी ने, क्योंकि ये पावन कथा, पावन राम कथाया जी. नित नित आनंद, इट गिव्स सो मच आनंद. नित्य नित्य आनंद. मिथिलापुरी मां, लाइक द आनंद वाज इन मिथिलापुरी, we will have this ananda. So there was enormous ananda, festivity. It was such a festivity. Suvirama Chandra Suvi, Suvirama Bhadra Suvi, Suvirama Abhirama Suvilale. तेलुगु में ये प्रसिद्ध गाना है, सुवी. If you are speechless, then in women folk sing Suvi, Suvi Suvali. Suvi Ramachandra Suvi, Suvi Rama Bhadra Suvi, Suvi Rama Abhirama Suvilale. What Giridhardas says, South में poets sing the poetic beauty of Ramakatha. It was such a haywire, allola kallola. We say that, no? So people didn't know what to say. They were speechless. Speech didn't come. Allo nere dillo Sita Kalyanambu Cheluvandi Maye. So when Sita Kalyanam was going, it was such a Maya. Divi Kridayam. Allo nere dillo Sita Kalyanambu Cheluvanda Maye. Allo. Kaun hai Ram? Ladies started singing. दाशरिधि का पुट्टी ताटक निगोट्टी कौशिकुनि आगंबु गाचे रघुवरुडु अल्लो नेरे डिल्लो सीता कल्याणंबु चलुवंत माये अल्लो भूतलंबुल नेल्ल गौतमुनि सतिकी राति जन्ममु बापे प्रीतितो नतडु अल्लो नेरे डिल्लो जनक यज्ञबुनकु చనుజేంచి వేగ ఘనత రాజకుల జూడ గౌరవంబునను అల్లో నేరేడిల్లో సీతా కళ్యాణంబు చలువంత మాయే హరునికో దండంబును అప్పుడు జేబుని పగర బట్టి ధనుర్భంగము చేసే అల్లో నేరేడిల్లో సీతా కళ్యాణంబు చలువంత మాయే. దట్ టైమ్ హి వాస్ ఓన్లీ రఘుపతి. ఖ్యాతాదిగాన్ అచ్యుతుడు Kavivaradu Appudu, he was only the Lord who rode Garuda, but now after getting married to Sita, Sita Samedudai Chelage Raghuvarudu Allo Nere Dillo Allo. People were speechless. So this was such a Vaibhoham. Srotha Jana Sruno Bhava Darine Pavana Rama Kataya Ji. So this is an important Rama Katha. So we are coming to the conclusion. So Ramayan has 7 kanda, and the first kanda and the last kanda, even though Valmiki tries to portray Rama as Manushya, but in the first kanda and the last kanda, Uttarakanda, he gave up. So this is the portion of Ramayana, the last section. So the Ramayana was basically sung as a Gana in 32 days by Lavakusha in Ayodhya mein, Ashwamedha Mahamantap mein. In 32 days, like Gayatri is basically 23 Akshara, whereas the basic poetic meter in Sanskrit is Anushtuk, which has 32 letters, full letters. So Ramayan was sung in 32 days in the presence of Lord Ramachandra in Ashwamedha Mantapa. So basically, it was endorsed by Rama. So that is why it is Satya. It is Satya Katha. So on the 4th day, Lava and Kucha, the sons of Lord Rama, finished singing the Balakanda in 4 days. So we are coming to the conclusion. On the 4th day, they started singing from the 66th Sarga and went to all the way up to 8th Sarga of Ayodhya Kanda. So this is the last portion. So Ramayana now in this last portion talks about the welfare of the world. So how does it do? It does it in 4 ways. That is what the last few sargas of Ramayana do. So Balakanta is also known as Yajna Kanta. It tells to conquer 4 things at the end of the Balakanta. 1, conquer ego, conquer anger, and then it also shows art of diplomacy in the way of interaction between Rama and Bhargava Rama, Parasurama. And the end, how does Valmiki finish this Ramayan? Balakanda of Ramayan, Valmiki says that it is for the welfare. Rama did all this, all the acts in 77 sargas to take care of the people of Ayodhya, or in other words, take care of the people of the world. So Balakanda is also known as Yajna Kanda. Yajna means Kriya. So he did job. Basically, Rama did the job. Rama did so many important jobs. So the most important thing is to marry Mother Sita. So when he does marry Sita, so the act finishes in 4 stages. First stage is how to conquer ego, ahankara, mamakara, which is what embodied in Parasurama Avatara. Then the second thing is Rama comes, how he handles Parasurama. He is Jitakrodaha, Jataroshaha, Jitakrodaha. Of course, if you don't have anger, you won't have emotions. You need reaction. But it should not be spontaneous. That's what Rama shows in his act. When he listens to Parasurama, he absorbs what Parasurama says. Then when Parasurama says, come and challenge me, he then shows anger, but that anger he conquers. So Parasurama is embodiment of ego and anger, whereas Rama is contrary to that. He is just calm and then composed, and then he absorbs what Parasurama says, and then when he has to act, he shows his emotion, Jataroshaha. Then he conquers it, Jitakrodaha. So there is a diplomacy there. So politics can learn a lot from the last 2 sargas. Basically from 75, 76 sarga, there are a lot of things, lot of acts one can learn. And then at the end, what does Rama do? Rama takes the lessons from his father, takes lessons from his mother, and then tries for the welfare of the kingdom. So Balakanda is Yajna Kanda. Ramayan itself is art of living. That is clearly shown in Balakanda. So that is what. So much confusions, whether in terms of the political world or in the Shastra world or in day-to-day life. There are so much complications there. Even Shastra can complicate. Shastra can lead us to some difficult paths. But Ramayan is Upabrahmanartham. So it takes the essence of Shastra and then shows a clear path in a way we can understand. As Manushya, we can understand. So, this is Ramayana. So, Ramayana is basically art of living. So, what happens? So, after the marriage of Sita, all the 4 brothers and their patnis try to come back from Mithila to Ayodhya. Even if you learn and read a single word in Ramayana, it will lead us to the path of happiness, eternal happiness. So how was this wedding? So this wedding happened in a very pompous way, whereas Valmiki does not elaborate the Bharat. In North India, the marriage starts with the marriage procession. It's a beautifully, the Bhakti poet in Gujarati sings that Raghuvaraji Gode Chadiya. We don't know how Rama came, whether he came walking or he came in chariot or he came in Goda. We didn't know in Valmiki Ramayan, but Giridhardas sings it. It is a Bhakti, it's an expression of Bhakti. Raghuvaraji Gode Chadiya Tikaha Toranga Chale Re Nachata. People were all dancing. Nija Bandhu Sahita Raghuraya Raghuvaraji Gode Chadiya Ango Angani Shobhare Shikahu Jotala Je Kotik Kam Raghuvaraji Gode Chadiya. So they all came in horse, like it is the Paddhati in Gurjar Desh, like it is the Paddhati in Rajasthan, like it is the Paddhati in the North India. So this Bharat came. So the beauty of the Bharat, this poet says that even Saraswati will not be able to decipher, understand and sing. Similarly, Adisesh, Nag Devata B will be in a position get so mesmerized with this beauty of this Bharat. Take Varanavatan Sesha Sharada Shumvakanum Sundara Roop. So even Sharada, the goddess of learning, and Sesh, upon which the earth rests, according to Hindu Sanatana Dharma, the world is held by Adisesh. Take Varanavatam Sesha Sharada Shumvakanum Sundara Roop. So likewise this Bharat came. So people were mesmerized. Men and women, everybody were mesmerized. Roop Joyi Raghuvar Tanu Moh Pamya Nara Nari Re. Both Nara or Nari were so mesmerized. Have Sasu Avyam Pahonkwa Tyanthai Rahayo Jaya Jaya Kar Re. Everywhere it was Jaya Jaya Kar. So how did that marriage happen? Yam Sita Mama Suta Sahadharma Charitava Praticha Chainam Padram Te Panim Grinhishwa Panina. So Valmiki says, Janaka took the hand of Janaki, Janaka Putri Janaki, Sita Maka, and he took the hand, the right hand of Sita, and then gave it to Ram. That's all the marriage. Whereas, you see the beauty. Gujarat ka kaise, Gujarat or North India mein, this marriage, how it happens. It's a beauty. So what happens is, so this Bharat came and everybody went to the Vedic Mantapa. So what happens? Mankalakshata Mantri ne kar apya vara kanyatane. So Vasishta made this mantrakshat and then he gave it to both Vara or Vadhu. Var mane Ram, Lakshmana, Bharata, Satrugna. Vadhu mane Sita, Urmila, Mandavi, Shrutha Kirti. So this is how it would happen in Gujarat, I suppose. Kanya kere sisha charane vare mukhya te jhada pachi varatane pada sisha akshata kanyaye mukhya tada. So there is a very interesting observation. So first, the akshatas were taken by the Vara, the bridegroom. Then the bridegroom first puts this akshata on the forehead of Vadhu. Kanya kere sisha charana vare mukhya te jada. Whereas now when the turn of the Vadhu comes, they first put it at the feet of the Vara. That also Giridhardas documents. Pachi varatane pada sish Akshata Kanyaye Mukhya Tada. Then they put this Akshata on the head. So first the Varato Kanya ka Mukh, Kanya ka Mastak, Kanya. So the Var Ram ji Sita Ma ka Mastak mein dal diya, फिर उसकी चरण में डाल दिया. Whereas after that सीता माँ क्या किया? सीता माँ तो अक्षत लेकर राम जी के पाद चरणों में डाली, फिर उसका मस्तक में डाली. Right? That is the thing it looks like in Gurjar Desh. Then comes very important thing which Valmiki doesn't mention, how the Vivag happens in Rajasthan, how the Vivag happens in Gujarat. Giridhardas documents. येम वेद विदिये लग्नताये कर्यो हस्त मेलाप स्वस्ति वाचन बोलता वरमाला डागाली आप. Then the Vivag is completed in Gujarat with the use of Varamala, which was not the one documented in Valmiki. So Giridharadas wants to make sure he is from that Bhakti land. ये स्वस्ति वाचन बोलता वरमाल घाली आप यम चार कन्या करी अपर्ण जनक भूपे. So all these four girls were wedded like this. Then what happens? Mangala turi vajintra jaya jaya taya mantapa mahe Rama Sita paraniya Urmila ne Lakshmana varya Shatrugna Sruta Kirti ne Mandavi Bharata Harake Bharya Mangala Pera Pareche Varakanya Harke Atiganu Sheshanaga Kahishake Ati. So this kind of wedding, even Seshanag is not able to do Vivarana. Shobha Shukate Sametanu. So this kind of an elaborate wedding happened. The wedding finished, according to Giridharadas, by the exchange of Varamala or Mangalya Sutra. So this wedding was match made in heaven, which Kalidasa says if you have a word, the word should have some suffixes. A noun should have some adjective to make it beautiful. Because Kalidasa was a masterful Kavi. He can play with words. He says, can you imagine how the wedding between Ram and Sita was? How the wedding between Lakshmana and Urmila was? It's like a word which gets embellished with the use of adjective. Ta naradhipa sutaha nripatmajaihi techatabi agaman kritarthatam so abhavat varavadu samagamaha, the marriage, the union. Pratyayaha prakriti yoga sannibaha. So he plays with the words. When this is in Raghuvamsa, he says pratyaya prakriti. Prakriti means word, noun. Assume that it is a noun. Pratyaya. In Tamil we call it as pagudi and vigudi. So pagudi means word, noun. So noun get embellished with the use of some suffix or with the use of adjective. So pratyayaha prakriti yoga sannibaha. So then they started their happy journey towards Ayodhya. So this is what we have studied. So this is Ramayana. So we are coming to the 74th Sarga, 74, 75, 76 and 77. So Balakanda has 77 Sarga. 75th and 76th Sarga is all about Parasurama Garva Bhangam. So the Vivag happened for 5 days. Prajapatyartam Vivaham, just for the progeny, for Dharma Prajartam Vivaham. So the Vivaha was Prajapatyartam. So they exchanged Mala, and in Valmiki, basically the bridegroom and the bride held their hands, and then using Agni as a Sakshi, they did Pradakshinam. So that night went away. So, Ataratyam Vyatitayam Vishwamitro Mahamunihi. Now, 74th Sarga begins. So, marriage, all the pompous wedding and all that thing went away. And this is where Vishwamitra will cease to exist after this Sarga. So, when did Vishwamitra come into? Balakanda is made of 77 Sargas. Out of 77 Sargas, 57 sargas, he was there. He was front and center in 57 sargas of Balakanda. So it was supposed to be about Ramayana. But he did a great thing. He helped Rama to get married to Vishwamitra. So what is Rama? Rama is, he is the one who understands the help. So Kritagnya. So he knows if somebody did some good to him, he will always remember. That is what he remembers. And then he lets Parasurama go, Bhargava Rama go, because Bhargava Rama is a way nephew to Vishwamitra's. Vishwamitra's son is married to the father. He is a kind of grand nephew. So Parasurama is a grand nephew of Vishwamitra. We'll see that. So Rama understands the help Vishwamitra did to him because he got the best, the best and most better half of his life, Sita. So he remembers and lets Bhargava Rama go. So the sarga starts, Atha Mangala Vakyaha. So Tata, Atha and all are for Shubha Suchak. So Atha Ratriyam Vyatitayam Vishwamitro Mahamuni, from 18th sarga. Vishwamitra enters the Ramayana play in the 18th sarga. If I remember correctly, it should be 38th sloka. Then he exists from the act once for all. You will not hear about Vishwamitra at all. 74th sarga, first sloka. Atharatyam vyatitayam Vishwamitro Mahamuni Aprithya Taucha Rajanau Jagama Uttara Parvatam. So he came, he accomplished his goal. He wanted to marry Rama to Sita. So he finished. So then he said, I don't have anything to do. I've done my job. So I'm going to Himalayas. Jagama Uttara Parvatam. Then, other act of living. So then Dasaratha and his entire family could have stayed many days. He did not. Vishwamitra Gate Raja Vaideham Mitiladhipam Aprushtaiva Jagama Ashuhu Raja Dasharatha Purim. Quickly, immediately, you don't extend the hospitality of the guest beyond what is needed. That is what we say. In Tamil, Virundum Marundum, Moondru Nalakku. So there are only 3 days you can stay at one place. Right? So that Dasharatha says, immediately after Vishwamitra left, Ashu means quickly, patapat. Vishwamitra Gate Raja Vaideham Mitiladhipam Aprushtaiva Jagama. He just bid farewell. Aprushtaiva Jagama Ashu Jagama. Immediately, that same morning, when Vishwamitra left for Himalayas, they were traveling towards west, towards Ayodhya. Atha Raja Videhanam Dadau Kanya Dhanam Bahu Gavam Shata Sahasrani Bahuni Mitileswara Kambalanam Cha Mukyanam Ksauman Kotyam Baranicha Asti Haswarata Padatam Divya Rupam Swalankritam Dadau Kanya Shatam Tasam Dasit Uttamam. Beautiful. So he says, you have to give clothes, but the clothes should be good and it should be white. How beautiful this is. Chauman Kotyambarani. 1 crore. 1 crore Chauman means white. White vastra, pure vastra. And then he also gave blankets because it is on the northern part of India, so it is cold. So Kambalanam cha Kambal. So Kambalanam cha Mukyanam Chauman Kotyambarani cha Hasti. Then what he gives? He gives elephants, horse, rath, and also servants. Then he flooded them with 4 different types of jewels. Hiranya Swarnasya Muktanam Vidrumasya cha. Vidruma means pavada, coral. So Hiranyasya Suvarnasya Muktanam Vidrumasya cha Dadau Raja Samsrushta. So they did not demand dowry. He gave out of his own interest. He says this, Dadau Raja Samhrishtaha Kanya Danam Uttamam. So Janaka gave out of his own preeti. So they were all walking westward. Then Gachantam tu Naravyagram sa Rishi Sangamam sa Ragavam Gorastu Pakshino Vacho Vyaharanti Samantataha. All of a sudden, when the battalion of Dasharatha was walking westward, birds started making big noise. Gorastu pakshino vacho vyaharansi means cry. Gorastu pakshino vacho vyaharanti samantataha gachantu naravyagram. So the Dasaratha was going and he got scared. Not only pakshi, the two-legged animals also started they became restless and started circumambulation. They started circling and circling and circling. Baumas chaiva mruga sarve gachanti sma pradakshinam. They were trying to do, they became restless. Tan drishtva rajasardulo vasittam paryaprichati. Then Dasaratha got little bit worried. What is this? We did something very good. Why is this happening? Then the noise, the birds, of course, if cuckoo makes the sound, it is like Madhuravani. But this one is Ghora. Asaumyaha pakshino gora mrigaschapi pradakshinaha kimidam hridayo kampi. It's shaking my heart. Hridaya kampi. Kimidam hridayo kampi manomama vishidati rajño dasharatasya itati sritva vakyam mahan rishi vacha. Then the act of a guru, the act of a teacher is to calm. Imagine the birds were all making kind of different types of noise. Two-legged animals were circling restless. But then Vasishtha says, just hold on. Uvacha madhuram vanim sruyata masyi yatpalam. Let me think what happened. Don't just get agitated. Upasthitam bhayam goram divyam pakshi mukha achyutam mrugaha prashamayantyete santapaha tyajatam. I am santapa, klesham. Just wait. Don't panic. So that is the art of living. That is what a guru should do. If a student fails, the teacher should not go and yell at the student. The teacher should be the first one before the news gets to the parents. The teacher should be the first barrier. And then the teacher should calm the student. That's what he does. Santa apatyajatam ayam. So just hold on, let me see. Okay, these things are happening. I know what it is. But these things also will pass away. There is a saying in Tamil. Iduvum kadandu pogu. So if you just be patient and focused on solving the problem, this, imagine, even with the pravesha, even with the entrance of Parasurama, this much good news comes. That's what Giridhardas says. What? Srotha Jana Sruno. He orders. Then he says, what bhava se? Dharine bhava se Sruno. This guy in a way scolds in Gujarati. You better listen. Ramayana to itna pavana katha. Pavana Rama kathaya ji nitta anand. If you just imbibe the meaning of Ramayana, you will get happiness. Nita anand. Not only in Mithilapuri, not only in Ayodhya, even here. So then came the dramatic entrance of Parasurama. So these birds were all creaking, the animals were wandering and circulating. Dasaratha got worried, but only leaders and teachers like Vasishtha maintain calmness, and they know what is going to happen. Tamsi tasmin tamasi goretu basma channe vasachamu. When he came, Basma, so there were clouds. This cloud covered the entire battalion of Dasaratha. Basmas channe vasachamu. Chamu means samuh, the group of people. So when Parasurama came, his pada dhuli basically clouded the entire battalion of Dasaratha. Then beautiful use of Sanskrit in describing this, the character Parasurama. How did it come? Dadarsha. Then he came. Then he jumped likewise. Bhima Shankasam Jadamandala Dharinam Bhargavam Jamadagnyam Tam Raja Vimardhanam Kailasam Iva Durdarsham Kalagnim Iva Dussaham Jwalantam Iva Tejobhi Durnirikshyam Prutagjanaihi Skandecha Sajya Parashum Dhanur Vidyud Ganotpamam Pragruhya Sharamugram Cha Tripuragnam Yata Shivam. Beautiful face. How was he? Bhima Shankasam. He was roaring. making big noise. Bhima Sankasam Jada Mandala Dharinam Bhargavam, he is from the lineage of Bhrigu Rishi. Bhargavam Jamadagnyam, his father was Jamadagni. Renuka Jamadagnika Putra. Jamadagnyam Tam Raja Raja Vimardhanam. He has been killing Rajas for 37 generations of Rajas. This Parasurama has killed until that time. So Raja Raja Vimardhanam Kailasamiva Durdarsham. You cannot reach Kailash. So he is unattainable like Kailasam. Kailásamiva Durdarsham Kalagni Iva Dussaham. You can't even approach. He is like a Kalagni. Agni. Jwalantam Iva Tejobihi. He is like sun. Jwalantam Iva Tejobihi Durniriksham Prutakjanai. Prutakjanai. People cannot even go near him. Durniriksham Prutakjanai Skandecha Sajya Parashum. Skande. On his shoulder he had that parashu. It's an axe. Parasu mane axe. Dhanur Vidyut Ganodpam, not only axe, he also had on the left side Dhanuhu. That Dhanuhu is known as Vishnu Dhanu. In 67th Sarga, Rama broke Shiva Dhanusu. In 75th Sarga, in 76th Sarga, Rama will break the Vishnu Dhanusu. 67th Sarga, he broke Shiva Dhanusu. In 76th Sarga, he will break this Vishnu Dhanusu. So, Skande cha sajya parashum dhanur vidyut ganotpamam pragrihya sharasam ugram cha tripuhu agnim yata shivam. Like Shiva killed Tripurasura, likewise he was like this. He was like nothing but Shiva. Then people thought, this guy, we thought that his anger was quelled. So what happens? He was not able to conquer his anger. If you keep on keeping anger, it's only going to hurt you. In a way, it is going to kill you. So you should let the anger go. After a few minutes, you should let the anger go. That is the art of lesson in Parasurama. Kaschiti pitrivadam rishihi kshatram na utsadayishyati purvam kshatravadam kritva gatamanyur gatach. We thought, people were then talking, we thought this guy, after quelling this 37 dynasty of kings, his anger would have been quenched. So what did the word they say? Gatha manyuhu gata jvaraha. Manyuhu mane kopa. Gata. Let the kopa go away. So the kopa would have died itself. Jvaraha. It would have died itself, we thought. But why this anger is coming again and again? So he is not able to conquer the anger. Kshatrasyot sadhanam bhuyo kshatraha. The anger, the valor. Why did he utsaha? Why did he create the anger again? Bhuyo. Nakhalu. Asya chikirshitam, we don't know what's happening. Why did he bring the anger again? This is going to destroy him. You shouldn't keep the anger in yourself. Otherwise it is going to destroy him. Then he says, okay, I heard. Then he says, Rama, there are two Ramas. The Rama of Ramayana is known as Dasharatha Rama, Dasharati. Whereas the Parasurama is known as Bhargava Rama. So Rama Dasharate Veera Viryam Te Sruyate Adbhutam Dhanusho Bhedanam Chaiva Nikile Namaya Srutam. Okay, his ego kicks in. Hey Rama, hey Dasharatha Rama, I heard that you, some time back, you were able to bend a bow. Okay, that is nothing. Have you tried my this bow? That bow was Shiva Dhanush. This bow is Vishnu Dhanush. So there was a Dvanda Yuddha. There was duel between Vishnu and Shiva. Then Vishnu used this bow, which is known as Vishnu Dhanush. Vishnu Dhanush ka naam kya hai? Vanamali gati sharngi chanki chakri chanandaki Shriman Narayano Vishnu Vasudevo Abhirakshatu Saranga. Vishnu का बहू का नाम है शार्ंग, शिव का बहू का नाम है पिनाकम. So that bow was nothing but pinakam. But this bow, both were made by Devashirpi called Vishwakarma. This belonged to Vishnu. And then Vishnu proved that his valor in the Dvanta Yuddha between Shiva and Vishnu, and Vishnu became victorious. And that is what I have. He gave it to my grandfather Ruchika. So Ruchika to Vishwamitra ka related. Vishwamitra ka bhagin to Ruchika ka bibi. So he gave it to my grandfather Ruchika, and Ruchika gave it to my father Jamadagni. And like it is like a inheritance. My father gave it to me, so I am having this. So this is, come and try. Then he says very sarcastically, okay, before you are able to break down this bow, at least try to lift it. Bhargavanam kule jataha swadhyaya pratashalinam sahasrakshe pratignyaya shatram prakshiptavanasi. When this Parasurama or Bhargava Rama started asking Rama to come for Dvanta Yuddha, Dvanda mane duel. For the duel, Dasaratha, again, the affection of a father, he says, oh, you, what is happening? Kshatraroshati prashamstam brahmanascha mahatapaha balanam mama putra. Sir, my son Rama is like a kid. Balanam mama putranam abhayam, please. Abhayam datum arghasi. Dasaratha forgets that he is before, his son is nothing but Vishnu. He says, Balanam mama putraha abhayam datum arghasi. It is your duty to give refuge to Rama, so don't show your anger. Sattvam dharma paro bhutva kashyapaya vasundaram datva. But I have heard that you have given up your anger and all the land, because he quelled 37 dynasty of Rajas and then he took away all their lands. Okay, then what did he do with that land? He gave it to a rishi called Kashyapa, and then the Kashyapa let that land given back again to all the kings. We thought that you took all the lands, you quenched your anger, then you gave the land back to the rishi Kashyapa, and then you made sure that you will not do any sort of things, and you went to a Mahendra Parvata to do penance. What brought you here? Ime dve danushi sreshte divye lokavi pujite dhrude balavat mukye sukrute. That's all okay. He ignores. That is ego. When Dasaratha was pleading to protect Rama before Bhargava Rama, he didn't listen. When Dasaratha was keeping on talking, rambling something, he says, come, first, hey Ram, try at least, you just showed your anger and your parakrama to somebody. It's no point showing to weak people. Come and show before me. Ime dve danushi sreshte divye lokapi pujite dhride bhalavati mukhe sukrute visvakarmana. This is the best. Idam dvitiyam durdarsham vishnor dhattam surottamai. This was given by Vishnu. Taditam vaishnamam rama dhanuhu parapuranjayam. But there again, the beauty, the diplomacy. So never he yells at Bhargava Rama, that is Parasurama yells or calls using any churlish term to Rama. He says, Parapuranjayam, you can quell, you are the one who can quell the strength and valor of others. Para means enemy. Parapuranjayam samanasaram kakusta. But you have to show your valors among equals. Don't show the valor to the weakness. Samanasaram kakusta raudrena danushatpidam idam cha vaishnavam rama danuhu parapuranjayam richike bhargave pradat vishnu sanyasamuttamam. So Richika gave it to Jamadagni and he took sannyasa. So that's what happens. Then what happens is Rama listens. That's the beauty. Beautiful words Valmiki uses. So what happens? Even in academic parlance we say, if somebody tests your ego, you write a paper, send it to your journal. It's very rare that you get accepted in the first instance. So the reviewers and the editor comes and vomits with lot of comments. When we were young and immature, immediately, how can he? I am the one who know the hard work behind it, and we started showing emotion. But when we start doing this, we were told some 25 years back, just get it. If it's congratulations, go and read that email. If it says, sorry, it's good work, but we could not, don't immediately open the review comments. Put it aside for 2 days. Then you go back and see the comments. Then it will make sense. So that is in Ramayana. Not in academic parlance, but there is something. Shritva. So this Bhargava Rama asks for duel. Okay, come. But you are a child. Your father says, Bala. You are like Dimbaka. You are like Bala. You are like a young Yuva. You can't even lift this bow. How can you bend this bow? So don't talk. But Rama listens. Shrutva tajjamadagnasya vakyam dasharatistata. He is Dasarathi, who is Bhargava. Use the word, Valmiki says. Gauravat Yanthritha Katha. He was contemplating Yantrita. He was machining words, what he should reply. The exact name is Yantra, means machine. He was smoothening the words that would come out of his mouth so that he doesn't show emotion. Beautiful. This Valmiki writes, Yantrita Katha. He was machining the words, what words would come so that it won't again provoke Bhargava Rama. Beautiful. That is art of living. So, Gauravat, he gave the enough respect to Bhargava Rama, but used measured words. Yantrita Katha. So, he didn't show emotions quickly. Gauravat Yantrita Katha. Pituhu Ramam Athabravit. He just slowly, in a metered voice, Rama says, Ityuktva Ragavaha Kruddho Bhargavasya Varayudam Sharam cha Pratijagraha Astal Lagu Parakrama. Okay, you only wanted me to touch Astal Lagu Parakrama. I'm going to lift it with ease. Ityuktva Ragavaha Kruddho Bhargavasya Varayudam. Varayudam means Sreshtayudam. Sharam cha Pratijagraha. Pratijagraha means with arrow he lifted. Sharamcha pratijagraha astal lagu parakrama imam vattvadgatim Rama tapobala samarjitan. Then once he lifted, Bhargava Rama knew that his bala will go away. So Bhargava Rama was gifted with two things. One, he can be extremely mobile. So what he said, So when he gifted the land to Kashyapa, he promised, I will not rest in the world if it becomes night. So he gave the entire world to Kashyapa Rishi, and then he said to Kashyapa that I will not rest in a place if it becomes night. That means he has that much speed walking, gati. So if he is in Kerala, the next time when India becomes dark, he should be in America. So he can walk like that because he conquered the entire world. That's what it is. So that is his power. And the second power was it tapas. So there are two things. One is mobility. And the second was it tapas. Because of that tapas, he was able to quell 37 dynasty of kings. In some other account, they say 21 dynasties. Whatever it is, 37 dynasties. When he meets Rama, he had already quenched 37 dynasties of emperors, adharmic emperors in the world, and he will never stay at one place. So if it becomes dark, he would have been gone to a place which is, if he's in Australia, it becomes dark, he would have come to somewhere in a northern hemisphere. So that was its motility, its motility. So by the time this Vishnu Dhanush, in 67th Sarga, Rama broke Shiva Dhanush. In 76th Sarga, he was able to show that he can lift lagu. It's like lagu, just like that. Krida. Sharamcha pratijagraha asta lagu parakrama. Then Parasurama found that his valor is going away. Then Rama says, this is Vishnu Dhanusu. What do I do with it? Should I take your mobility, your capability to go from one place to other, or I'll take all your tapas? Then Bhargava Rama says, don't take my mobility. I just want to do the parikrama, but take away my penance. So he gifted his penance. So there is a history behind it. So with that mobility, so he goes to Mahendra Parvata and does it penance. So this is the story of Bhargava. But there's a beauty there. So when he was doing penance, after all this Rama episode, then he is basically Vishnu avatar, 6th avatar of Vishnu, 7th avatar was Dasarathi Rama. Once upon a time in India, southern India, the oceans all got out of control and the oceans started swallowing the southern part of India, which is now present day Kerala, all the way up to Uttara Karnataka, Tulu speaking region, Gokarna. From Trivandrum all the way down south to Gokarna, the land got submerged. In Mahendra Parvata, this Bhargava Rama, Lata is there, so she wants story. This is not in Valmiki Ramayana, but just story. To say the importance of Bhargava Rama, to say that even though he did for a purpose, he came to show that he did not conquer anger, he did not conquer ego, So eventually it has to go. When ego and anger goes away, people become human. Jataroshaha jitakrodaha. Rama was able to get anger when he wants. Jataroshaha. Jata means birth. He can give birth to anger when he wants. He says, Shoshayishyami Sagaram. When he was trying to build the Samudra Bandhan in Rameshwaram, the Samudra Raj did not come and yield and give way. He says, Saumitre Chapamanaya Shoshayishyami Samudra. Hey Saumitra, hey Lakshmana, bring my bow and arrow. I will make this ocean dry. So he showed anger. Then immediately he could control. Jataroshaha. Konasmin Sampratam Loke Dyutiman Kascha Viryavan. The Ramayana starts, and one of the two qualities of Ramayan began with this Jataroshaha Jitakrodaha. When you are ending the Balakanda 76th Sarga, penultimate Kanda, Valmiki shows that Rama exhibited it. When he had to control anger, he controlled, but when he had to threaten Bhargava Rama, he created Krodh. Ityuktva Ragavaha Kruddho. So he said, okay, don't play with me. Then he showed anger, but immediately he controlled. Jatarosha Jitakro. That is Upabrahmanartham. Valmiki Raman. The first Sarga, he gives these two qualities. In the 76th Sarga, Valmiki makes it a point that the episode between Bhargava Rama, Parasurama and Dasharatha Rama, he was able to show by example how he can create the anger himself and how he can control the anger. So Bhargava Rama went. Then he became a good person. Art of living, I told you, 4 things this story says. Controlling ego, controlling anger. Then you want to do good things to people. That is the 76th Sarga. So those are the 4 things. And then diplomacy, the way how Rama interacted. Yanthritha Katha, diplomacy. He was metering the words. He was controlling the anger, he was emotionally well controlled. So art of diplomacy, art of controlling ego, art of controlling anger, art of diplomacy. When all these come into play, you become a good person. That is what Parasurama became due to the interaction between Rama. So this Narayana Bhattatri says, so when this place was going down, the western southern tip of Bharat, India was getting swallowed by ocean. Parasurama was doing penance in Mahendragiri. So that time he had accumulated so much penance. So he used his axe and then threw the axe to the ocean, towards ocean, so that it serves as a barrier, dam. Then he used Dhanus. Parasurama is characterized by his bow and axe. So he threw the axe, it serves as the dam, and then the bow he used to dry the ocean. So when the ocean was dried, that portion came up. That portion is known as Kerala, the thin strip, all the way from Trivandrum until Konkini speaking land, Gokarna. So that entire part we call in English God's land, God's own land. Kerala people pride themselves calling God's own land because it's lush, it's green, lot of waterways. We just now celebrated Onam. So that's the land of gods, they say, and in Sanskrit it's called Parasurama Kshetram. Kerala is known as Parasurama Kshetram. So Parasurama is also good. Nyasya astrani mahendra bhubriti tapastvan punarmajjitam Gokarna avadhi sagarena dharanim drishtvarthitastapasaihi. Gokarna avadhi, until Gokarna. So this is Narayana Bhattatri gives beautiful. He talks to Guru Ayappa like this, we are talking to each other. He was a great poet, Sanskrit poet, so much devoted to Guru Ayappa. He wrote it's a mini Bhagavat called Narayaniyam. In Narayaniyam, he talks about Parasurama in a good sense. So don't underestimate Parasurama. This Parasurama was the one who lifted. So he lifted Utsaryo Udhritya Kerala. Utsaryo Udhritya Kerala. He was the one who lifted Kerala, and the Kerala is prosperous because of it. Is it not you, Guru Ayappa? Are you not the one Parasurama who came and did it? Then the Lord Guruvayurappan nodded his head in Narayaniyam. So, Bhrugupate Vatesha Samraksham, He Vatapurisha, He Guruvayurappa, were you not the one Parasurama who came and lifted this Kerala? So, this is the episode. Then Parasurama went away and started doing penance. So, then after this, coming to the close, they all were at the outskirts of Ayodhya. Pauraihi pratyugato dhuram dvidaischa parivasibihi putrairανugataha sriman srimadbhischa mahayashah. So by the time the people who pauraihi pratyugata, then people started walking in the opposite direction. Pratyugata, gata pratyugata. So people from Ayodhya started to know that Dasaratha is coming with his sons wedded. So pauraihi means people. Pauraihi pratyugato. Pratyugata means they came in the opposite direction because they are going towards Ayodhya. People started coming to receive them. Pauraihi pratyugato dhuram dvidaischa puravasibihi. Puravasibihi. The people who are living in the city all came. So then Raja went to his palace. How was this? Tataha Sitam Mahabhagam Urmilam cha Yashasvinim Kushadvaja Sute Sobe Jagruhu. Jagruhu means Kushadvaja's two daughters and their bridegrooms, Rama and Sita, Lakshmana and Urmila, were all received with pompous. Jagruhu means they were all welcomed. Abhivadya cha abhivadyam cha sarva raja sutastada re mire mudita sarva bhartubihi sahitaraha. Then they started showing respect to each other. What did it say? Abhivadya cha abhivadyam cha sarva raja sutastada re mire mudita sarva bhartubihi sahita. People were living ever after. Krita dhara krita astrascha sadhanaha sasrujanaha Sashrushamanaha Pitaram Vartayanti. Then Balakanda is the only one which did not have any thrill in ending. So it's a happy ending. Kritadhara, all were wedded. Dhara means wife. Kritadhara, Krita Astrascha, they showed valor. So Rama showed valor thrice. First in Tataka, second in Shivadhanur Bhanga in 67th Sarga, and in 76th Sarga he did quench the valor of Parasurama. Krita dhara, krita astrascha sadhanaha sa suhrujjadaha sushrushamanaha pitaram. Then he listened. Sushrushamana means it's not that you are doing service. You have to take it in an inner sense, that he listened to the words of Dasaratha. What did Dasaratha say? Pitruhu agnyam puraskritya. Taking forward. Pitruhu agnyam puraskritya. Puraskritya means to go forward. In this case, you should take to absorb. He absorbed the agnya. Pituhu agnya. Dasaratha's agnya. Pituhu agnyam puraskritya. Pauraka aryani sarvashaha chakara ramaha sarvani priyani cha hitan. He started doing things with happy and interest. Valmiki uses these words, adjectives, Visheshana. Chakara ramaha sarvani priyani cha hitani sa. You can do things which you like, but at the same time it should be good to the people. That's what he says. Sarvani priyani cha hitani cha. He was looking after the people. Matrubhyo matrakaryani kritva paramayantritaha. In a meticulous way, paramayantritaha. Gurunam gurukaryani kale anvavekshati. When time went, he was doing all this. How long did they do? They did for 12 years. Rama got married when he was 14. And Rama did this for 12 years. So 14 plus 12 is 26. So when Rama was left to Vana, he was 26. 14 plus 12 equals to 26. Then 14 years he was in the Vana. So when Ramayana story ends when Rama was 40. So the entire episode up to 6 Ganda is only 40 years of Rama's living. So what is Ramascha Sitaya Sardam Vijahara Bahun Rutun. Rama and Sita were living happily ever after for Bahunu Rutun. That means 12 years. So how many Ritus? 6 Ritus. So 12 times 6 Ritus. 72 Ritus. Rama and Sita, they did not see anything but for happiness. Manasvi tad gatamanasya tasya kriti sama. Manasvi, they were made for each other. Rama was made for Sita, Sita was made for Rama. Manasvi tad gata manasya tasya kriti samarpita. Sita gave her manas to Rama, tasya kriti samarpita. Tayasa raja rishir suto abhikamaya same ivan uttaman raja kanyaya. He finishes. Balakanda comes, so she was brought up by Janaka, who is nothing but Raja Rishi. Tayasa Raja Rishi Suto Abhikamaya Same Ivan Uttamam Raja Kanyaya Ativa Ramaha Sushube Mudan Ativa Sushube. They were living happily ever after for 12 years, 72 rutus. Vibhuhu Sriya Vishnu Iva Ishvara. Like whom? The Upamana was Vibhuhu Sriya Vishnu Riva Ishvara Amareshvara. Like Vishnu lives in Vaikunta, Sita and Rama lived happily ever after in Ayodhya. They did not have any worries. For 12 years, happy. So Valmiki tries to say that he is Manushya. But when he finishes Balakanda, what he says? Vibhuhu Sreshta Vibhuhu Sriya Vishnu Riva Amareswaraha. Then Adhyatma Ramayana brings it in a beautiful way. Mata Pitribhyam Samhrushto Ramaha Sita Samanvita. How does Balakanda end? In Adhyatma Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana portrays Rama as Manushya. Atmanam Manusham Manye Ramam Satya Parakramam. Whereas Adhyatma Ramayana, there is, people say it's written by Ramananda. But most people believe it's again Vyasa Proktam, whatever it may be. Mata Pitribhyam Samhrushto, happy. So Rama and Sita made Mata and Pita happy. Mata Pitribhyam Samhrushto Ramaha Sita Samanvita. Rama and Sita lived happily for 12 years. That's the only time they lived happy. Then after 12 years, it's going to be separation. Right? And then that's it. So Mata Pitribhyam Samhrishto Ramaha Sita Samanvita Reme Vaikunta Bhavane. So this Adhyatma Ramayana could not contain itself. These people are not Manushya. They are real supreme. So instead of saying Ayodhya, what it says? Reme Vaikunta Bhavane Sriya Saha Yatarihi. So Rama and Sita are nothing but Lord Narayana and Mahalakshmi. Mata Pitribhyam Samhrushto Ramaha Sita Samanvita Reme Vaikunta Bhavane Sriya Saha Yatahari. 17th hour, exactly 7 o'clock. Yatahari, we finished 17 hours of Balakanda. Mata Pitrubhyam Samhrushto Ramaha Sita Samanvita Reme Vaikunta Bhavane Sriya Saha Yatahari. 40 years back, you can count my age, I learnt. So it is a blessing for me to go sarga after sarga. 17 hours of Balakanda. Balakanda is known as Yajna Kanda. So Reme Vaikunta Bhavane Sriya Saha Yatarihi. So that's why Gujarati mein Giridhardas in fact dictates, you better listen. Srotha Jana Sruno Bhava Dharine. But don't just come and stand and go and go. You got to imbibe Dharine Srunu. Srotha Jana Sruno Bhava Dharine Pavana Rama Katha. This is Parama Pavana Rama Katha. It's not the story of valor. It's not the story of Lord, God and Goddess. It's art of living. So Balakanda is known as Yajna. Yajna mane Kriya. Kriya Kanda. So Balakanda may right from the beginning there was Kriya. So the Dasaratha performed Aswamedha. As part of Aswamedha, he did Putra Kameshti. Then Vishwamitra was doing Yaga. That is the reason he called Rama और उसका अनुज लक्ष्मण को बुलाया. फिर जनक ने धनुर्यज्ञ किया. उसको फल तो Rama और Sita का मिलन. Then Bhargava Rama was doing his penance, so he conquered the entire world, but then built up Kerala. So it's full of yajna. So this portion was recited by Gana Roop se. Gana Roop se, love our Kusha, in front of Rama, in Aswamed Mahamantapa, on the 4th day. They finished the Balakanda. Then comes Ayodhya Kanda. Ayodhya Kanda is all about Dharma. This is the one Kanda where Rama talks about non-inheriting, listening to his father, wanting to save the words of his father, then Kaikeyi demands that Dasarath give his vows back. So it's all about dharma. So we will progress dharma. So this is the 17th our lecture finished. It's all because of his great Sutama Savamana Sududu Pattu Sri Rama Ninama Rupa Mulaku Nitya Jaya Mangalam Nitya Subha Mangalam Mangalam Kosalendraya Maganiya Gunabdaye Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta San Mangalani Santu.